Hey, welcome back to another episode of Let's Get Inspired, the YouTube series dedicated to inspiring you via tutorials, plugin reviews, art reviews, talking, stuff like that. Today we're going to be talking about RC20. Of all the plugins I've ever purchased, this is the plugin that I use the most, other than Pro Cube 3, but that's kind of goes without saying. I paired the RC20 with a saturator. You don't need the saturator, but I like it because as far as mixing goes, I like to use the RC20 and then pump it kind of extra hard with a saturator. I think it brings out more color from the RC20. I have prepared a nice little Ableton project today to demonstrate what I'm talking about. We're going to group each track in our project into one of two groups. It's either a sound or a sample or a melodic thing, or it's a drum. And we're gonna separate the project into those two groups, and then anything that's a drum will be processed into the RC20, and anything that's a sample will be sidechained to the drum group. It's really simple, but that's the point of beats. Beats are simple. They're fun. They're loops, you know? But yeah, anywho, let me show you what I'm talking about. First, let's just go down the line so I can show you what sounds we're working with. First up, we have this piano sample. Then we have some ambiance from Count Drums 5. So we got that going in the background. And then we have this little bongo loop, which is from my own sound folder. Nice and simple. And then we have a drum rack. I made the kick drums super short. You can see here how much of the sample I cut off. It used to sound like this. But I shortened the kick a decent amount. And the secondary kick is even shorter. I take everything that I would consider a drum and put it into its own group. So that would include the percussion, and then everything that I consider melodic or a sound or a sample, that'll go in its own group. So I create two groups. It's either drums or samples. The ambiance, you can take that into either group, sounds or drums. I'm going to put it in the sounds though, just so that then when we sidechain, it will include the ambiance. But you could technically put that in the drum group if you wanted to. That's kind of up to you. So we're going to group these two sounds. And we're just going to call those sounds. And then we are going to group these two sounds. And we're going to call those drums. So now we have our mix grouped out. Nice. Okay. And this is where the star of the show comes in, retro color. I have my preset on Vinyl 3. That's the preset that comes loaded on startup. Before I get into what I do with RC20, I'll run you through all of my favorite presets that you can use as well because they come standard. Obviously, Vinyl 3 is a favorite of mine. The only thing that I might change personally is the noise volume. I most of the time just turn it off. Or I'll change it to tape hiss. Maybe bring up the duck a little bit, give it some of that sidechain feel. So yeah, that's a setting I'm very fond of. The other vinyl settings are good too, but Vinyl 3 in my opinion is the best. Drum breaks are good too. My favorite is number 3 because it has a wonderful reverb. which the reverb could even come down a little bit. My dog is here to say hello. She's up on bed now. I'll get a photo of her for you guys. It's very early in the morning, so she's tired. The other drum break settings are nice as well. I tend to only use the third one. And then the final setting that I am super duper fond of is cassette first generation. I tend to just leave it exactly how it is. This one has a lot of cassette hiss going on, but it blends really well with the low end, which it is boosting. You can see down here, and it sounds like this. Quite a gain increase on that one. But yes, we'll go back to vinyl 3 because that's the one that I'm going to use for this video. So paired with the samples, it sounds like this. Which is pretty good. But I still want those drums to cut through a little bit more, so to do that, I'm going to do two things. First, I'm going to sidechain the sound group to the drum group. Then I'm going to put a saturator after the RC20 on the drum group and just boost it a little bit to taste. We'll see how it sounds. That's pretty good. Boosting it 5.62 decibels and dropping it 0.29. You can do whatever you want for that. I'm just leaving the saturator how it is with soft clip on. And that's that. And I think that sounds pretty damn good. And that's kind of really all I do for drums nowadays. Another thing I like to do while I'm still in the mixing mode is put a pretty hefty compressor on the master. It tends to show me what things need to be EQ'd a little further, and the percussion track is screaming at me. But yeah, it tends to be how I do my drums nowadays with the RC20. I just feel like without the RC20, the drums are kind of like bleh. And then with the RC20, they are still maybe like bleh, but they at least have a coating of like legitimacy. Hopefully that makes some sense. If you have any questions, just drop me a comment. You can certainly expect more shorter videos like this. I'm trying to make more videos that are shorter and less videos that are like more than 10 minutes long. I want to get you guys more stuff with less effort on my end while upping the usefulness of the things that I post. And hey, if you learned something today, let me know. If you had fun, let me know. If you had a bad time, let me know. Okay, go drink some coffee about it. See you guys later.